Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Chicago Bears. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come into this one 0-6 on the year, and really it's sort of just been one thing after another.
Coupled with they don't start very fast. The first quarter's really been an issue for them. They've got to learn to get out of the gates quicker in order to try and win some games.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the former number 2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing here, Trubisky. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Play action. Now Trubisky. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Trubisky now off the bootleg. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down a pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line.
Their bread and butter is their passing game. After that last play, maybe they need to go back to that passing game.
You know, what's been good for them along the way is they understand their identity. They are a passing team, but they do like to mix in the run every now and then just to keep people off balance. Didn't work very well on that one, but all in all, I like their philosophy.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Throwing on first down. Franks. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Looking to throw on second down. Franks. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And a stoppage here. A timeout before this third down play takes place. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Operating from the gun, Franks, and an alley to run. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Here we go.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
On first and 10, Franks. And he will find his man on the outside. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll try the left side. McKinley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Franks. That's caught. It's Thomas. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they go to work on a first and goal. The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they go to work on a first and goal.
Check 26, check 26.
Looking to throw. Franks looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz with the extra point. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 30 on second down, Trubisky. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35.
Oh, man, partner, this is something cornerbacks love to do, and that's outthink a quarterback. If you get a sense that they're going to throw a quick out route or a quick hitch, you can just lay back an extra yard or 2, but then really put your foot in the turf and drive on the football. And here I think he baited the quarterback into the throw and made it pay off.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Kamara. And he'll be taken down at the 34.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is a well, and the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Cohen. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. And you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Not that time for Watkins.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Well, a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, a 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On first down, Franks. His throw incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll bring up second down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
To throw again. Franks. Looking again for Thomas. This time complete.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 18.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes. In the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and score. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Let's go.
From 4 yards out. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. The throw right sideline here is complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense, sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, That means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, that good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that time and change things up a little bit and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Franks. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack in there for a milestone sack as that moves him past Hall of Famer Michael Strahan, who finished his career with 141.5. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here comes the Saints punter now. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. So we have reached halftime here. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the... The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on.
Accelerating, and off he goes. The 30, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 76 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Draw play, Cohen. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Watch the run. Watch the run.
On second down, it's Cohen. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Trubisky. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Tried to get that one to Jake Butt. 3rd down here. Well, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. First down, a run with Cohen. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Tariq Cohen, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears get a bit closer. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
23 yards on the play. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Franks out of the backfield. That's complete to Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And he's got his man on the out route. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Khalil Mack has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Franks looking long for Thomas. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Trubisky. He's got Smith here. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Trubisky will throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
I got you, boy. Check 99. Check 99. Orbit. Kill. Turn up. Go.
Throwing on 1st down. Franks. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. The 20. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. Tariq Cohen with his of the game, his 6th on the year. Extra point attempt to follow here. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
That one good for 33 and a first.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
On 1st and 10, Franks. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Again, it's Cohen. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. On 3rd down, Trubisky. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. Touchdown, Chicago! A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. So what can the Bears do here as they'll go for 2? So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the 1st downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
That one good for 33 and a 1st.
Let's go.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Kamara. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the Bears' 27-yard line.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Here's 2nd and 8. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
To throw on 3rd down. Franks gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Hey, check right, check right. Watching your box track.
On 4th down, Franks. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bears will get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Back to throw. And this is caught by Watkins. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A gain of 6 there on 1st. He's back to throw.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
And this one complete to Smith. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
So all eyes on the Saints offense. Down by a field goal, a little over 20 seconds to go. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
1st down, Saints.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
58, come on. Squeeze, get in there. Let's go. Check. Go. Play. Exit. 58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Let's go.
He'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Charlie. Ready.
They'll look to throw. This is caught. And now the timeout call. So 5 seconds left, and a field goal would send us to overtime. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
Let's go, baby.
And Charles, in this one, the fourth quarter became a lot more interesting, I know, than I anticipated. Probably you anticipated. A comeback bid falling just a little bit short.
You're never supposed to count a team out, and I know we didn't on air, but mentally, I just didn't see this type of a comeback, especially one that put them in a position to put the real pressure on them down the stretch.
So for New Orleans, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Bears, it's yet another loss as they've started out now 0-7. And they'll